Deftones, Birthmark, Guitar Tabs, and Guitar Lesson. I'll play through all the different sections right at the beginning. After that, I'll go back through, give the full explanation for it. Before we jump in, please hit that subscribe button. It's the best way of letting me know that you like this video and want to see more Deftones stuff. And now, let's jump on in. Alright, so this is Adrenaline album, so we'll just be standard tuning, E, A, D, G, B, E. And at the very beginning here, we get this kind of fun little nasty dissonant scale. And basically we're just doing like 12th fret on the high E, 11 on the B, 10 on the G, do like a 9 on the D, and then we'll have like an open low E. And we just kind of like, you know, up strum through it a little bit. Let it ring, and then just kind of like go through it a time or two, and you know, come off, hit the open low E with it, just be kind of weird with it. And then we just kind of end up at this chord here, the open low E with the 10 on the A and the 12 on the G here for the octave, and just hit it, strum it, let it ring. Like an E minor vibe hanging there, and we'll see that again a little bit later too. And for this second part of the intro, and it's kind of part two of the verse. The first verse initially is kind of bass, and then guitar comes in with this bit, but this is also like the second part of the intro where everybody like kind of comes in, and basically we're doing this E octave with the low open E and the 7 on the A, and it's just kind of a certain, you know, strumming on here. Okay, it's like a 1 2 1 1 2 1 1 2. All right, and we do that a few times, and then we do this little bit here where we'll come over and do a little bend and release on the 10 of the A. You know, bend it, release it, and then we'll come up, hit an 8 on the low E, back to a 7 on the A. And then the second part of it, pretty much everything's the same, but instead of the 7 on the A, we just make it a 10 on the A. All right, and we do the same little bend release off to the 8E, 7A at the end of it. And for the chorus, we start with an open E power chord, come over to a couple of G power chords at the 3E, 5A. All right, and then we come off to this interesting little bit here where it's 2 on the low E and an open A under it, and it's just kind of a 1 2 1 2. And we'll just crank through that about 8 times. All right, and at the end of that, as I mentioned previously in the end of the intro, we come off to that same open low E, 10 on the A, 12 on the G. With the second verse, a little difference here is instead of the bass just being by itself, now we get the guitar doing some palm muted, just open low E's, and it's that same 1-2-1 strum. All right, we're just kind of palm muting and going along with the bass right there. For the bridge section here, we just come off to a big E minor chord. All right, so it's open E, 2A and D with the open G, B, E. Strum it, just let it go for a couple of measures there, and then just shift over to like a D5 there. So open D, 2 on the G, 3 on the B. Let that hang for a couple. And then we just have fun doing like some pick scrapes. And it's more just kind of like right in this area. So, just get the pick perpendicular with the strings there and just kind of go back and forth, get wild with it. Okay, it's a real arbitrary, just improv thing happening there. And we start our outro riffs here. For the most part, pretty much the same spots, a little different towards the end, but come off to a big open E power chord. All right, then we come up to the more mid-voiced E at the 7A, 9 on the D and G there. Hit it once, kind of hold it a moment, hit it again. All right, then we drop down to a D power chord here, 5A, 7 on the D and G. And then a real quick open low E to a G power chord at the 3E, 5 on the A and D. And then we do quick open low E back to that G at the 3 and 5, slide it down to the G flat there at the 2E, 4 on the A and D. So slowly. And then we just kind of evolve the outro pattern a little bit here. We'll kick off with the same open E power chord. But from here, we're going to focus more on like an octave sound, all right? Not quite the power chord. So we'll just do like the 7 on the A, and then the octave at the 9 on the G. And it's kind of the same deal. Just hit it, hold it once more, drop it down to the 5 and the 7. All right, finish it the same way with the open to the G power chord to the G flat. Okay, that same deal. And then we'll start just like we did before. All right, and here's where like the new bit comes in, just some higher stuff. We come on up and we do this octave at the 10A, 12G, hit that, and then we'll slide it to the 9 and 11. All right, go through the initial section once again. And then we finish it, come back up to that 10 and 12 again. All right, then we'll hit it, and instead of going down, we'll come up with it, and we come up to 12A, 14G. And we end on just a, kind of a flip of the big, like, interlude bridge chords there. Start with the D, and then finish on the E minor.